Good morning, everybody. This is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Just got the what we call the 12Z or the 8 a.m. Eastern Time model runs. Instead of throwing all of the data up here, I thought I'd basically focus on where the storm is going to be going. Did want to mention though that the storm has gained Category 3 strength. Here's a look at it as we take a high-res satellite image. You could see the center of circulation right there where that eye is, right in the southern Bahamas. Here's Haiti down to the south, the southern tip of Cuba. Circulation pretty well formed now. You can see the strongest winds are still on the north and northeast side, not as strong on the south side. It's really the whole northern half semicircle and then on the east side that we're seeing some of the strongest winds. You go in real close, you can see kind of a ragged eye. There is a couple little sections in here where it's bubbling up, but the biggest eye wall thunderheads are right on the north side of the storm. So let's look at the model data. What I did is I pulled out the main track, which is off to the left here, and then I threw in the consensus tracks, and then another model called the NGX2, which the reason I threw that model in there, it's been performing the best so far in the lifespan of Irene. There's the wind field. You see how strong the winds are out to the north and east. The red is the hurricane force winds. These are the 64 knot winds, and then these are the 39 mile per hour winds, or the 58 mile per hour winds are on the inside. So if we go in real close, this is when it's going to make its closest approach to the North Carolina coast. This is the official track right here. As it approaches, this is roughly around 8 a.m. On Sunday morning, clipping the Outer Banks. And in fact, if you look at the track, and again, it's kind of, if you round the track off, it basically clips Hatteras Island here, right on the tip of the Outer Banks. So good, unfortunately it is going to clip the Outer Banks on that track. The consensus tracks are all to the east. You can see the other models. Anything that has T in front of it is a consensus track of other models. The main consensus track is basically these tracks over in here that you're looking at, these models, TCON and TCVN. So the consensus tracks are here, and then the one off to the right is that model, that NGX2, which a lot of people probably aren't familiar with, but that's a model that, based on the average air in the track, has actually been performing the best here, especially this far out. So I threw that model in there just to give you an idea. It's actually further to the east, but the consensus is pretty clear, and the hurricane center is really right on it. They're slowly shifting closer, but they're going to stay on the left side for good reason, for caution. They don't want to have to shift the track back to the west. So as it comes up, it's going to go through the mid-Atlantic, the Delmarva region, off to the east. Remember, all these bays and inlets, even though the storm is out here, you're going to see water being pushed into all of these bays, inlets, causing flooding. The main concern really is starting to shift to Long Island and then up in here into Massachusetts. Water coming into Long Island here, Long Island Sound, is always a big issue, and they have not had a hurricane up here in a long time. This will be a hurricane as it approaches the eastern tip of Long Island. It'll be a Category 1, but it's going to be pushing a lot of water with it, and then you're talking about all the areas of Rhode Island, eastern Connecticut, Massachusetts, and even the coastal Maine sections. You got to remember, as this storm's coming up from the south, even though it's weakening, it's pushing a lot of water. It's pushing water right now. It's building water up down here. It's going to be pushing it up towards the coast. So even the South and North Carolina coast, all these southeast facing coasts, you're going to have huge swells, likely well above average tides, and probably some coastal flooding, even in pure sunshine. So don't let your guard down, especially if you're beachfront property owners on the Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina coast, all the way up the East Coast. This is going to produce a lot of water pushing inland. The only thing that this curve to the east is going to do, it's going to keep the strongest winds well offshore and the strongest storms. There still will be some winds here, but you're talking, hurricane force winds will probably be just near the Outer Banks, and maybe an extreme area of 110 mile an hour winds. But inland, we're talking 30, 40 max, and then back towards the Piedmont and the central Piedmont back into the mountains. You're probably talking just a breezy day, 25, 30 miles per hour, with some, maybe a few showers, but I don't count on any showers heading up this way. So that's the latest on the track. Just want to give you an update at 8 a.m. Of course, we'll have another update coming up at 11. The next model runs will be running this afternoon. That's when I think we'll see any more significant changes in the track.